Hello guys. Yeah, it's a difficult one to do. Early hours Tuesday morning, I lost my dad, and to say that it sucks is an understatement. My dad was one of the only things I ever really knew. The guy himself, if you knew his story, or if you know anyone who's had a story similar to him, you can understand why I say this. Just as a little bit of a background to him, my dad, he was 62 when he passed away. He was born down in East Ham, 1951, and moved up with my mum in 1990 to where I am now in Arbroath. And he pretty much stayed here. He liked it up here. He liked the quietness, like the peaceful streets. It was just too cramped and crowded down there, especially with having two children. In 1991, I was born. And within 3 years later, my mum was taken. She passed away in 1994, on the 1st of May, on a sunny day, through cancer. My dad battled and fought for me and my sisters for I think it was about a good part of 9 years, 10 years, until he felt that I was able to come home and stay home by myself for a little bit, that it wouldn't make much difference. He had to go back to work eventually. But to be on the dole, dole money, getting money from the government for 9 years, after working every day to fund for your family, to put a roof over their head, it's difficult. You kind of get into that way of where you want to go to work, you have to go to work because that's what you feel you need to do. And yeah, it's surreal knowing that my dad is no longer here. The only really kind of piece of well-being, of comfort, is that my dad passed away early hours Tuesday morning on the 26th, just after a bank holiday weekend. And he waited for my mum's brother to come up. My mum's brother was travelling and he was about half hour later than what he expected. But within half an hour, my Uncle John arriving, he must have stepped back into my mum's arms again. And I'm not religious, but I do believe that when you leave here, you leave for another place. There's no reason why you're on here and you just go away. Everyone, I know there's going to be opinions on this, but my opinion on it is that he is back with my mum, where he belongs. Death's the only thing we haven't done yet. We're all on this earth to do it at some point. Just some are done quicker than others. Now, this may seem quite attention-seeking, but this is just the way I am. I'm not going to hide it. I haven't hid it from anyone else, so why should I hide it to people on my YouTube channel or my Twitter channel who views this and sees this? I'm not a guy to kind of curl up in a ball and not talk about it. I'm kind of just a person to I've always spoke about stuff. I've never once kept it logged back. So for me to talk about this in a way is kind of a way of trying to help myself realise that yes, it's happened. On the 18th of June this year, he was prognosed terminal after fighting cancer for 2.5 years. He was scared, like everyone would be. I'm scared. I can't think about death. If I think about it before I sleep, I have to wake back up and watch something that's enjoyable. I cannot go to sleep knowing that I'm thinking of death or I'll have a nightmare. And yeah, okay, that you can call me childish for that, but it's a phobia that I have, and it's a phobia that if everyone has, they have a right to have it, because it's the only thing we don't physically know about. We don't know what happens after death. So if anyone wants to say to me that death is a stupid phobia to have, then it's not. So my dad, after 20 years, was reunited with my mum. But for me it feels like he was taken too soon. He's brought me up since I was 3. I got to have my birthday with him this year. We went to the casino, we had a laugh. And that's one thing I'll always take, because he did not stop laughing until the end. He contracted a virus on the Thursday past, which went into his bloodstream and kind of went to his head, and a urine tract infection or a urine infection, if it goes that way, can put any elderly member or someone over that age, of that age and above, into a demented like state where they're increasing hallucinations, they're fidgety, they don't know where they are, they're not making quite sense when they speak, they ghost talk as well. And seeing my dad like that wasn't nice. I couldn't handle it. Decision. I don't want anyone that I know to ever go through that situation, because it's difficult. You don't know what to do. And he got frustrated because we couldn't understand him, and we got frustrated because we just didn't realise what he was saying. And it sucks. It really does deeply suck. All I want my dad to know now is that I'm happy that you were there peacefully and you passed away peacefully. And as much as I wasn't there, I couldn't hold up. I did not want to see you go. I will be, some point in the next couple of months, be doing a charity live stream in aid of my dad and for Macmillan nurses, or Macmillan charity. Macmillan are a caring style charity. They're not a charity that will research the cancer. They kind of help provide care for cancer patients who have cancer and their families. They're like a support network. And to be fair, if it's me, I think Macmillan are underrated. They're amazing. The work they do is fantastic. And that brings me on to another thing. My dad got instead of getting put into a specialised home where people with terminal illnesses go into the final days of their life, he was taken up to 9 Miles Hospital in Dundee, where he was put into an acute palliative care unit. And for us as a family, me and my sisters, we kind of have a sound mind that we know he was in the best place. He was treated for the infection first, and when they could not find that, well, when they knew that the infection wasn't going away from everything they tried, they knew that the best possible thing to do after that is to make him as comfortable as possible. And that is what they did. They made him as comfortable as possible so that he can be as peaceful as he could. He wasn't put into any coma or anything like that, but he was put into a state where he was neither sleeping nor awake, but he was completely relaxed. He knew we were there at all times. He knew what was going on. He knew himself it was happening. He was scared. We seen that. He did not want to leave. He never did once want to leave, but he's now no longer at pain. And I seek comfort from that, because I've seen what he was like over the weekend, and if he was to go like that, that would not be a true light to himself. My dad was a very proud man. He was a very, very comical man. He was a very funny guy. There's people who have stories about him, and even going into like late 50s, and he still would be the type of guy to go out and at a party be the first one up to dance and the last person to leave, and there's memories like that I'll always keep with me. And I said to my sister Louise on Saturday, it's just surreal. We were told that he might not have long left to go, but we didn't think that him having cancer, he would go down like the Titanic. He was fine Wednesday and Thursday morning, and come Thursday night he was slightly different. He wasn't quite him. And then Friday, the infection must have took full hold. But it's just, if anyone ever goes through that, and I know you, and you ever want to talk, and I know I've been told this myself, but if you ever need to talk about cancer related things, or even just speak to someone anonymous, just let me know. I'm there for anyone and everyone. My dad was the one sole thing that I had left, so to say. And now I've got my sisters who have been as strong as rocks. Seriously, I don't know where they get it from. Just can't. So tonight, or the next time, or whatever, you see your dad, you see your mum, you see your parents, sit with them, chat with them, laugh with them, make memories. Because at times like this, it's the memories that pull you through. I'm gonna kind of shut up now and just move on, but I'll be back up streaming again soon, and I look forward to seeing everyone there. See you later, guys.